Hello guys, welcome to the channel. And I'm starting this channel to follow along with my investment journey basically. I'm 26, I'm new into real estate, and I wanted to document basically the start to the end. Hopefully it's a good ending, hopefully I don't crash and burn, but we're gonna find out. Just a little history on me. I've done a few little real estate projects with my father, with like family. We flipped a house and that worked out pretty well. That was about 3 to 4 years ago. But this is my first project where I'm kind of doing it on my own and going out and finding an investment property and trying to stabilize it and make it cash flow, and hopefully rinse and repeat. So by no means am I an expert. This is my first time doing it. Luckily I have some people around me that are going to help me along the way that you might meet throughout this process. But other than that, let's just jump into it and I'll give you a rundown on this property that I just closed on, I think 4 days ago. This first series is just going to be the process of me closing on my first investment property, stabilizing it, fixing it. There's a couple of things that need to be done, and then also getting tenants in it. I'm at my house right now. We're going to move on down the street. Luckily, this property is like 7 or 8 minutes from where I live, so it's perfect. I don't want to hire anyone to manage it for me. This is my first property, and I want to take all the cash flow I can out of it and just see what it takes to manage a property. So we're heading over to the property now, and I just wanted to, while we're heading that way, I wanted to talk about this property and kind of how I found it. I would say for the last year and a half, I've been looking at getting into real estate investing. Just always too afraid to pull the trigger, honestly. You know, you just see it, oh, now's not the right time, interest rates are high, everything like that. And it's a little scary, you know, putting, you know, whatever you have to put down on it, $20,000, $30,000 down on an investment property. And, you know, there's a lot of people in the last couple of years, I feel like, that got into real estate kind of at the boom and got overexcited and just bought properties that they didn't underwrite correctly and didn't really make sure that it was a great investment. And they get burned, you know, you have a bad tenant. You don't want to do it anymore. And I didn't want that to be me, because I studied real estate in college and I didn't even end up graduating, but it was something I always wanted to do on the side. And I wanted to make sure when I did jump in that I was ready to do it and I was ready to do it right. So I started looking again pretty seriously, probably like 6 months ago. And I found this property. It came up through my realtor, actually. He had a buddy who had it under a wholesale contract, and he was trying to offload it, but the price wasn't right at the time. I think on the MLS it was listed at $235. It's a 2-2 duplex, which you could never make the numbers work the way that it was listed there. That was just way overpriced. And I think this realtor had it under contract at 185, I want to say. And even at 185, I still couldn't find a way to make the numbers work. And I'll show you all some of the tools for the beginners that I used that really helped me underwrite this property and make sure that the property was going to be a good investment. And I had to find really a target price on this one. And I said, okay, at this price, I can make the property work. I think the number that I had to get to make it work was 175. And he had it listed at 235, the original owner. And I was like, man, I can't lowball this guy that low. You know, it won't work. So I kind of stopped looking at it and started looking at other properties, and actually got another property under contract that once we went through it and did the inspection, it was kind of a nightmare. So we ended up backing out of that during the option period. So after we backed out of that property during the option period, I went back and revisited this one, and I saw that it was still on the market. And they actually had it listed incorrectly on the MLS. They had it listed under like a single family property. So, you know, you actually had to go find it. You know, normal investors weren't finding it on the, you know, you couldn't find it on Zillow or Realtor under multifamily. You had to go look under single family and find it. So that could have been one of the reasons that it was staying on the market so long. It popped back in my head. This property popped back in my head, and I went back and looked for it again. I saw that it was still on Zillow, still on the MLS. And it was still listed at $235. And it had been there, you know, probably 300 days at this point. So I hit up my realtor. I'm like, hey, you know, remember that property you sent me, you know, whatever, 4 months ago? And he goes, oh man, I don't really remember. Let me look. I was like, no, your buddy had it under contract at one point. He's trying to wholesale it at like 185, I think it was. And he's like, no, oh yeah, I remember that one. And so we go back and look at it, and I say, hey man, let's put in an offer on this thing. You know, worst thing they can say is no. He totally agrees. And our realtor, you know, he's an investment friendly realtor, and he's super helpful. And I actually found him by chance out here, and I'll probably do another video on that and on realtors and you know, how helpful they can be to you, because you know, this guy's a G. He really helped me out. But so we go ahead and you know, I say, well, hey, we know that he's willing to take 185 for it because your buddy had it under contract, and that was like a month and a half ago. How about 165? And he goes, well, how about 155? Let's just see what happens. So all right, cool, let's do 155. Write up the offer real quick, throw it in. I think by the next morning he has come back to us with a counter offer at 165. I'm sorry, we got it at 160 was the final price. So we got it at 160, and the numbers worked out great on that. So I'm like, all right, let's do it. We go back with that. He accepts it. And actually we're about to pull up to it. So let's get over there, and then we'll talk about the property a little bit more. All right, guys, we're here at the property. As you can see, it's a duplex. We got a 1 bed, 1 bath on each side. Part of the reason I chose this property was just because of the street. Super nice street. Neighbors keep up with their yards. Quiet. And we were able to get this one at a good price. We got it at 160. So let's go ahead and check the inside out, and we'll look a little bit deeper into it. So as you come in here on this unit, as you can tell, it's been pretty modernly redone. It's got some, I think these are like laminate floors, new AC, window units. I wish they had mini splits, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Kitchen, decently sized kitchen. Sorry, the water was running. It's been freezing over here in Texas. Decently sized kitchen, washer and dryer connections over here. Bathroom. Here's your bedroom. Plenty of windows, that's for sure. So, and then you also got a backyard out here, which is a pretty nice sized backyard. The units' backyards are split, so I really like that. All right, here's the other side. This one has nice hardwood floors, I like that. Same thing, AC, heat. Little kitchen area probably, little dining area maybe, breakfast area, whatever you want to call it. Got the doors here. Dog next door is freaking out. Kitchen's a little smaller than this one, but here you go. Simple. Bathroom, same thing. Nice little tile in here. There's the lights. So we'll see. Hoping to pull 950 off this one too. So the inspection on this place actually came back pretty great. I mean, it's an older house. I think it's almost 100 years old, or it may be 100 years old. The few things that came up, I mean, it's pier and beam foundation, of course. The foundation is actually in good shape. I think it had been done pretty recently. It has all cast iron plumbing, and a couple of the drain lines have some pretty bad leaks. So that will be another video when we get this thing ready to move in. We're gonna have to fix that. The other major thing that I saw in the inspection report is that I think there's a raccoon up in the attic. So we're gonna probably go up there today or tomorrow and get that thing out of there and seal it up. So that'll be pretty interesting. This unit on this side doesn't have any washer dryer connections. So that's something I'm gonna kind of look at. I think I found a space on the outside where I could put that washer dryer. I just have to find a way to insulate it for the cool winter months like this, like here when it freezes. I'm gonna list the other side first, rent it out, and then kind of see if I even have to do that. If I can rent this place out at what I want to rent it out at without having to put a washer dryer in, that's probably the route I'm gonna take. I'm not even gonna put it in, but we're gonna see. If we do need that in order to rent this thing out, then I do know exactly where we're gonna put it. But other than that, this place is completely ready to move into. It was kind of move-in ready, which is really helpful as a first-time investor like myself. I don't have to deal with, a full renovation or remodel, getting it ready to go and get tenants in. I can just literally close last week. I was actually in Colorado. I had to have a mobile notary come out and do it. It's interesting. Once you sign that paper, it's like, okay, now the clock is on. Now we got to get this thing leased out, rented out, in order to pay the bills. So my realtor actually has 2 rentals in this neighborhood as well, which gave me great insight. I could see actually what he was renting his property out. I knew that I could get it for at least what he was. I think he was renting a unit out here for $900 a month. For this house here, if I can get it for $900 a month, I'll be cash flowing. If I can get it at $950 a month, I'll be doing really good. So, and I'm sure we can break down all those numbers and everything like that in another video. I can talk about the process of closing this house in another video, as well as finding it more in depth. whatever you guys want to talk about. Really, this whole channel is just about, the process. As a new investor myself, I always love like finding videos on YouTube of people doing it and watching the process of them closing on a house and making it cash flow and on all those things. That kind of gives you the confidence. Once you see someone else do it, you think, oh, I can do it myself. But a lot of the videos are guys who've been doing it for 15, 20 years. You watch the Ben Mallas and everything. They've been killing it for years. So I thought it'd be interesting to watch someone do it from the start. So we're going to document this one day at a time. Hopefully it works out good and it's a long-running series. If I go bankrupt, it'll be 3 videos and we'll be out. So that's all we got. But stay tuned, and we'll be dropping some more videos soon. Appreciate it.